I mean, I would literally wake up depressed knowing what I have to do today before I can get back into bed. I mean, it was the most defeated feeling. I would go to bed some nights where I could barely get into bed. I'd wake up the next morning, and that was a distant memory. Yeah, the recovery was incredible. And then guys try to do this as a badge of honor. Well, I only took it so I could train harder. Which then you're complimenting yourself because I was just such a hard worker. Like, well, there is a little bit of a truth to that, but yeah, bigger, stronger, faster in that order. But they got some performance enhancers. Like, if the world understood what LeBron did, like other basketball players will hear what LeBron does and go, well, yeah, but that doesn't matter, right? It's like a baseball player. You're hitting a stick out of the way. It doesn't matter. It's like, no. If you knew what these performance enhancers did, then you would know why it does matter.
What do you think he's
there's
doing?
only one. We have the same drug guy, if you will. I know exactly what he's doing. But there's only one golfer.
Please tell.
There's only one golfer. I'm not going. World understood what LeBron did, like other basketball, bigger, stronger, faster in that order. But they got some performance enhancers. Like, if the world understood what LeBron did, stronger, faster in that order. But they got some performance enhancers. Like, if the world understood what LeBron did, but they got some performance enhancers. Like, if the world understood what LeBron did, like other basketball players will hear what LeBron does and go, well, yeah, but that doesn't matter, right? It's like a baseball player. You're hitting a stick out of the way. It doesn't matter. It's like, no. If you knew what these performance enhancers did, then you would know why it does matter.
What do you think he's
there's
doing?
only one. We have the same drug guy, if you will. I know exactly what he's doing. But there's only one golfer.
Please tell.
There's only one golfer. I'm not going to, but there's only one golfer that follows the big three. And the big three is EPO, growth hormone, testosterone. That's the Lance Armstrong diet. There's one golfer, but it's Tiger Woods.
All right. So can y'all hear the audio? Can y'all hear the audio? It's important that y'all are able to hear this audio. We're not going to go through a ton of audio. I just want to make sure y'all can hear it. England is in the building. Let's talk about it. England is in the building. Okay, good. All right, so y'all can hear. All right, I want y'all to hear this now because we're getting ready to go all the way in. We're getting ready to go all the way in.
Like, yes, it does matter. People will say it all the time. It doesn't matter. John Daly won it. It's like, it matters. Trust me that it matters. EPO matters. It's the reason LeBron takes it. It matters. And if other basketballs understood what it did, EPO increases your red blood cells, which gives you endurance so you can play all game long. You can shoot in the fourth
More
quarter
red blood
just like
cells,
you
more
shot in the
oxygen
fourth
in your red blood cells. Okay, got you.
It's the king of performance enhancers.
So you would prefer that, especially in a fight sport, to anything else?
EPO is king.
Because it's going to give you the stamina.
Yes.
That's why cyclists do it.
That's why
Tour de France is
so that fifth round energy is
the
more
human
important.
body is not made to do the Tour de France. I mean, the people that set that up are inhumane. So of course you have to go. Of course it's supernatural people that they're forcing them to take.
Now that you're not competing, are you still on?
Understood what it did. EPO increases your red blood cells, which gives you endurance. What it did. EPO increases your red blood cells, which gives you endurance so you can play all game long. You can shoot in the fourth. Understood what it did. EPO increases your red blood cells.
Okay, so again, I have to thank everybody that hits the Cash App for my lovely new setup. Right? I'll try to get you guys the best quality that we can. I got the best headphones that money can buy, right? I got the Wave 3 mic, which is not the most expensive microphone, but YouTubers seem to agree that this is the best, like, quality / utility and blah blah blah. And then of course yesterday we kind of debuted it, but I didn't have the arm extension, you know, to give the appropriate placing to capture my voice and sound. So yeah, we went ahead and we got a little bit more Cash App support from the family. Dropping stuff. And so we have the arm. So always know that whatever you guys send in, it goes to Chloe. it goes to, I put it right back into you guys. Okay. So I wanted to show you guys this. You guys remember this? You guys remember this thing here? This book that everybody takes for granted because we gave it away for free, right? I get people all the time that I give this book to, and then after I give them the book, they ask me all kinds of questions that the book actually has the answers to. Right? Now, Mr. I think his name is Chael Sonnen or Chael Sonnen. I'm not familiar with him. I'm not a fan. But he made these wild accusations about LeBron and EPO, right? So we're going to talk about the EPO. Of course, we're not trolling. We're not using catch-ya titles to bring people in. We're absolutely going to talk about the Freemason or the Masonic side of it, right? We're going to get into the Kemetic side of it. But before we get into all of those details, and you know, the underlying conversation is going to be the biochemistry, what you can apply and what you can take away from this to better your life in real time. But for those of you that remember this book, right? For those of you that remember this book, remember the focus of this book. Do you remember what the focus of this book was? The focus of this book is what? What is it that we focus our biochemistry on? What is it that we focus on, right? This book focuses us on one point. Hold on, people. This book is still available on the website right now, free of charge. You can go download this book right now. So I want to ask the family, right? We want to ask the family, what is it that they are familiar with? What is the focal point, the body part or area in the body that we focus on with this book? Let's go. Okay, AmericanHealer.website is the place to go, people. AmericanHealer.website is the place to go, family. All right, AmericanHealer.website is the place to go. And what we focus on is the bone marrow. It's the bone marrow. And oddly enough, this is how God works through me. I tell y'all all the time, the information comes through me, not from me, right? But oddly enough, the book was released the year before COVID. The year before COVID. The year before COVID. Now, why am I saying that? Why is that important? Because during the pandemic, right, which has died down but is still active, right, the whole thing was antibodies, plasma, antibodies, plasma to defend yourself, right? Now, mind you, everybody that follows me, we didn't have any issues. In fact, we were posting testimonies of us, knocking out, reversing, we even had people that went, got tested positive, came back, got the herbs, bam, tested negative. But we focus our whole program on the bone marrow and the NRF2 system, right? So today we're going to refresh everybody's memory on those things and encourage everybody to go and get basically the herbal performance enhancing drugs, which is Inky's detox kit, right? Because the detox kit was designed around the NRF2 system and your bone marrow. Why do I say the bone marrow? Because that is where the resources come from. So yes, 99% of all the herbal detoxes that are on the market are a scam. They don't do any detoxing, right? What they do is they usually include the herb senna. Senna is probably the cheapest. You find it in a lot of teas like ballerina teas and weight loss teas and all that. SENNA, senna. It is the cheapest herb that you can buy in bulk that causes people to have bowel movements, right? And so this is where the scam comes in. People have been trained to think that a bowel movement is detox. So people equate bowel movement with detox. Now, is bowel movement essential? Yes. You should have just about as many bowel movements per day as you eat meals per day. If you are not having as many bowel movements as you are eating meals a day, you are on your way to developing sickness. Chances are you are already sick. Now, I know some of you may be saying, well, wait a minute, I'm not moving my bowels all the time, but I'm not sick. That's because you're also confused about what sick is. Many of you think that when you start developing mucus or you start, like peeing all the time, or when you start coughing, or when you start having cold sweats or rashes, that is sick. No. That is not sick. That is your body's actual immune system trying to get rid of the sickness that you already have developed and loaded up on. And now it's at a critical stage where it's hindering the body's processes. So the body has kicked in to try to push it out, whether it's pushing it out through the skin, vomit, mucus, urine, feces, or some combination of all of them put together, right? But that is not sick. So many of us think that when the body is getting rid of stuff, that means that we're sick. No. That is your body's way of getting rid of the sickness. The sickness you usually develop when you're feeling really good, which is the problem. This is all counterintuitive. The sickness is when you're feeling amazing, right? When you at the club and you turned up and you having the drinks and you like another one, right? You listening to Khaled. Wait a minute. You listening to DJ Khaled. You like another one. Yo, roll that shit up, nigga. Roll that shit up. We just smoked it up, but roll up another one. Yo, we just had some pills. So what? Give me another one. Yo, we just had McDonald's yesterday. So what? That Happy Meal was delicious. That value meal was delicious. I want another one. That is when we're sick, because all of those things have chemicals in them that stimulate your brain to release opioids and dopamine and all of the things that give you low-level highs, which is why the toxins, the poison feels so good. It's just like the what was that? The Cinderella? Is that Cinderella? Snow White. I think it was Snow White. When they put the poison in the apple, you know, the apple, right? Yeah, the apple pops up in the new Shazam movie too. So the Shazam movie is full of fairy tales and myths. It's really good. It's got a little Kabbalah mixed in there. You know, they tried to sprinkle a little masonry on there, but they didn't really do a good job with that. But it's a good movie though. It's a good movie. We loved it. My children loved it. They loved the first one. They loved this one even better. But it does have a few teaching points in there that you might want to educate your children on, right? But they always make the poison feel good, taste good. Now, when you're getting natural medicines, natural antidotes, natural, I didn't want to say vitamins and minerals because that's also leading to people getting scammed. But when you're getting the healing components of plants, those are usually bitter. Those are usually bitter, right? Now, a lot of these guys that's online, especially the people that tell you they related to Sabi or this is Sabi family or I've been following Sabi for 100 years and I know this isn't that. They base their conversation and their herbal salesmanship strictly off of minerals. So they even tell you outlandish things like this product or these herbs or this sea moss has 92 minerals in it. That is all fake. There is no such thing as 92 minerals. Oh, this got all 92 minerals in it. Yeah, all the 92 minerals. That's fake. There's no such thing as all 92 minerals. Okay, we gotta make it plain. In fact, let me show you guys so that y'all are clear on what I'm saying, because I don't want y'all to feel like I'm making up anything. Let's go over here. Hold on. I don't want to get any strikes off. Mess with the channel. Okay, so let's go over here and let's pull up something that everybody's familiar with. Let's pull up something that everybody's familiar with. You see this? This is where the confusion comes in. People are not going to school. Okay. Now, what you have on the periodic table is 92 elements, right? 92 natural elements on the periodic table. You have some more, but for the most part, those are all man-made in the laboratory. So you won't find those anywhere in the oceans or the mountains. You got 92 man-made elements. Now, on these 92 man-made elements, right? Elements, this is not minerals. Now, some of these elements can form minerals, but that's not the same thing. And that's where it becomes very deceptive. Right? Let me show you, just so you are clear. What does that say right there? I want y'all to all read that silently with me as I read it. More than 4,000 naturally occurring minerals, inorganic solids that have characteristic chemical composition and specific crystal structure have been found on Earth. Again, more than 4,000. Okay? So let's end the all 92 minerals. There is no all 92 minerals. Okay? The same way there's no such thing as a detox strictly designed that makes you poop. That's not detoxing the cells and the tissues and the blah, 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 blah. That is fake. Same thing as Chael Sonnen. We're going to deal with all this because you got to be careful when you come for LeBron. When you come for LeBron, I might have to come for you. You got to be careful. Okay, I can't have you disrupting my LeBron household. Yeah, the God of science, the God of biochemistry, and get at you. You understand? I'm the GOAT when it comes to this shit here. Don't, be careful. Tread lightly with this thing here. Tread lightly. Yeah, these are all facts. Inky hating. I know. Inky hating by giving you a large order of truth sprinkled with facts sprinkled on top. Let me get a large order of truth with them facts sprinkled on it. Can we sprinkle some facts on it? Y'all got any extra facts? Is there any extra facts? How much is extra facts? 50 cents. Okay, good. Put some extra facts on there. Yo, put some extra facts on there. Let me get the truth with some facts on there. Put some facts on that. So let me explain to you, because I know a lot of y'all buying them dumbass ballerina teas and detox teas and detox capsule herbs from guys that you just seen before. Little Yaya and the fat guy who just said he was on cocaine from the scammer channel over there with the chakra crew. Yeah. Billy Carson and gang. Yo, I'm dead. Yeah, I know some of y'all don't like that, right? But y'all have to deal with these things. These are all, listen, facts with, well, how do we have it? Was it a large order of truth with facts sprinkled on top? Go look up the herb center. Matter of fact, let me pull it up for you so you see what I'm talking about. This herb right here. This is the one. This is in all them detox teas. Cats be sneaking it in today. See that? Senna is used on a short-term basis to treat constipation. It is also used to empty the bowels before surgery and certain medical procedures. Now, let me explain to you the reason why they put short-term basis there and how this herb has sponsored millions of dollars in scamulation. Scamulation. Did I just make up? I think I just Don King. I think I just made up scamulation. Add that to your notes, people. Listen, M.O.I opened up this morning for us already. So get your pens and your paper out, your notebooks out. You know how it goes down. Get your notebooks and your pens out, right? You should already have it out, right? Scamulation. Okay. So here's what actually happens. Most of us are flooding our body with caffeine and a host of other chemicals that dehydrate the body. When you think about the term acids, one of the things that quote unquote acids do is dehydrate the body. Even healthy acids like amino acids, right? So say you're trying to get busy and work out and whoop, and you're taking your protein or whatever, your amino acids to build protein. Let me make sure I'm right and exact. You actually need to have a lot of water, though, to metabolize that. That is the whole purpose of creatine. Creatine allows your body to hold more water, right? But you don't need the creatine if you're getting the Blue Magic Sea Moss Gel from AmericanHealer.website, because the sea moss gel, just like the palladium on the periodic table, allows your body to store more water, more hydrogen. Anyway, that's what creatine does. So that's why creatine is a part of the basic stack that athletes and bodybuilders use along with their protein. Now, if you're taking creatine and you're taking protein, or even if you're just taking protein, it doesn't matter if you think you holistic because you're only doing hemp and pea protein. That doesn't matter. Okay, protein's protein in this regard. Water is what breaks those things down, and water is what builds those things back up. Yes, that's how it happens, right? The DNA, RNA sends the blueprint, endoplasmic reticulum, blah, 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 blah. But none of that happens without the right cytoplasm activity. It is always the water that is performing the biochemistry. When you think of your electron transport chain in the mitochondria, if you don't have the separation of charge in the matrix outside of the electron transport chain, there's no electron transporting. That's based on water. Okay, see, this is the things that they don't teach you in the school. And these are the things that Jack Cruz and Dan Winters and all these other white guys that y'all are watching on the internet, they're not going to teach you this shit either, because all of these things are driven by pigment. So if you're watching those guys, or if you're watching the black guys that watch those guys and then try to come back and be the first one to repeat what they just heard to the black audience, you're going to be lost. Okay. All Senna does is it pulls water from your tissues, from your cells in your body into your colon, and that flushes the colon. It doesn't clean, it doesn't detox, it doesn't fight viruses and bacteria. It's not doing any of that. What it does is further dehydrate your body. So let's say John Q. Public. John Q. Public's like, wow, I haven't had a bowel movement in a minute. Yeah, yo, I'm gonna go get some of that detox, or I'm gonna go get some of that herbal tea. And then I'm gonna take that, and yeah, I'm gonna have me some bowel movements because I tried it before because my homeboy at work or my homegirl, she put me onto it, and you know, she lost 5 pounds on it. Woo, woo, woo. No, she lost water weight. She didn't lose no fat. She didn't lose no muscle. She lost water weight. Soon as she stops taking that, she's gonna put that back on in like a week or two. That's just water weight. She just dehydrated. But what happens is this: you take those herbs, you take that tea, and you have the best bowel movements that you had in your life. Like, oh my God, I was on the toilet for a whole day. Yo, I think I put 20 pounds in the toilet. No. All you did was further dehydrate yourself, right? So you did have some amazing bowel movements, but guess what? You are more dehydrated after you stop taking those things than before you started. So the moment you stop taking those capsules, the moment you stop drinking that tea, you no longer have any bowel movements. So now guess how your brain is wired? Your brain is wired to say, well, after a week or two goes by, oh, I'm not having any bowel movements. What do I need to do? I need to go back. And get more of that tea, more of those capsules. So now you're on a treadmill where you're constantly buying these dumbass teas or these whack-ass detoxes that's not detoxing your body. If those things were working, why did we have all the people passing away for the last 3 years during the pandemic? I mean, most of them niggas had the detoxes and the herbal teas in their house. Why weren't they, since they were so loaded up on those detoxes and those teas? Why weren't they impervious? Why weren't their immune systems equipped to deal with the pandemic? Wait a minute. Let's hit the button. Come on now. We got to hit the button. Let's hit the button. Hold on. We got to hit the button on this. Ooh.
Ooh, teach. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you heard?
Yeah. Why weren't they? Now go ahead and ask the next question, because the next question is, well, what about yours, Inky? Inky, what about yours? I'll show you what about mine's. Let's look at mine's, because mine was designed specifically around the NRF2 system. And I've been telling people about the NRF2 system long before. Hold on. I've been talking about the NRF2 system for 7, 8, 9 years. We've been talking about NRF2 system, period. And I knew about the NRF2 system long before that. But it's like, in order for me to teach, because you guys are constantly loading yourselves up with, it's like this. I'm sure most of you have heard this. It's easier to teach a person that doesn't know anything than a person that has loaded themselves up with all the wrong teachings. Because if you load yourself up with all the wrong information, before I could start putting the right information in you, I got to debunk a whole bunch of bullshit that you believe in already. Yeah. Then I got to try to bring you up. Right? So let's take a look over here. Let's take a look over here. Right? Now, I know some of y'all are like, well, hold on. Now, look at this. Do you see what that, do you see what that it says right there? The nuclear factor erythroid 2. Erythroid. What is that? What is that? Erythroid. Oh, wait a minute. Erythroid has to do with red blood cells? Erythroid cells are immature red blood cells. Okay. So y'all didn't even know. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Now, what did that man say that LeBron was doing? That he was taking EPO to build up his red blood cells? And I just told y'all that the herbal EPO is Inky's detox, right? It's okay. I know we're going to keep working through it. You're going to keep learning as we go. It's all right. I got you. See, the beautiful thing is we got the digital footprint. And y'all remember me talk about NRF2 system as long as y'all been watching me on the internet. It's okay. Let's go back to it, though. Now, look at this over here. Let's just go ahead, before we even go any further on the NRF2 system, let's just do this. What the hell is the name of this thing? Oh, damn. Look at this here. Let's go to the patents. What were these people all trying to patent? The present invention relates to compounds that are NRF2 activators. These compounds have the structural formula I define herein. The present invention also relates to the process for the preparation of these compounds, the pharmaceutical compositions comprising them, and to their use in the treatment of diseases and disorders associated with NRF2 activation. Interesting. Interesting. Method of treating viral infections, such as viral infection caused by a virus of the Coronaviridae family, is provided. The composition interesting. Nutraceuticals for prevention, inhibition, and treatment of SARS-CoV-2 and associated COVID-19. Very interesting. Huh. This is very interesting. So NRF2 seem to be at the center of everybody's patents all of a sudden after they was telling y'all that I was making this stuff up. You know, Inky Pseudo, he be making stuff up. You've been listening to that for 15 years. Inky Pseudo, he making stuff up. No, Inky reads. And I just happen to be on Black YouTube because I'm a Black person, but the rest of Black YouTube is largely illiterate. Yeah. So when you say words that are past 6 or 7 letters, you start losing niggas' attention. Yeah. And they think that you're making these words up because they never saw them before. Like Unc, who teaches scientific literacy, but never ever heard of the NRF2 system. You're going to know why this is important in just a second. Also, he never heard of horizontal gene transfer. When I said horizontal gene transfer, remember, people were saying like the damn sky was falling. Oh, Inky's making up stuff. There's no such thing as horizontal gene transfer. Fast forward, the same people that was telling you there's no such thing as horizontal gene transfer were also experts on what you should do when there's a viral outbreak. I'm like, wait a minute. If you niggas have never read a book containing the phrase horizontal gene transfer, it's not possible that you can give people even halfway decent advice on a viral outbreak, because literally a viral outbreak happens via horizontal gene transfer. Like that's literally what that is. And the way that your body uses the HLA system, the human leukocyte antigen system, you know, the system that's built in your body so that it knows the foreign genetic material from the actual genetic material that's yours, is it works together with the NRF2 system. Yeah, that's how that works. And the NRF2 system is located in all of your cells. And that's what is there to protect them. And then if something happens to invade the cell, it's what basically escapes to the nucleus of the cell and rings the alarm and tells the body, hey, start to produce all of the enzymes, you know, like get all the soldiers, like it's wartime, you know, it's ringing the alarm that bring all the enzymes that kill up shit. Like we need, yeah, white blood cells, antibody, like get everybody, get everybody. It's like when your little brother come home with a black eye and a bloody nose, like, oh, get the whole family together. We got to go kick somebody's ass. That's what the NRF2 system does, right? So if you don't have a herbal formula that works on that, you don't have a detox, period. You don't have a detox. You have a fraud tox, a fake tox, a retox, but not a detox. Yeah. That's what's happening with that.
Ooh, teach. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you heard?
Yeah. So where we at? The detoxes are fake. The holistic healers don't know what the fuck they're talking about. We exposing a lot of shit on this Saturday afternoon. Y'all better make sure y'all share this video. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. If you already subscribe, unsubscribe and resubscribe so we can get this video into the algorithm. Yeah, we just warming up. Right? We got to circle back around now and get to the title of the video. Right? We got to circle back around and get to the title of the video. Now, if you guys have been following, let me get this. Hold on. Let me get this hard drive plugged in. If you guys have been following, you guys have been downloading the books, you've been watching the lectures, you saw the 5-hour cardiology equals spirituality classic, you saw the master class on mental health, right? So if you have been watching those things, then you saw this. Let me pull this up, right? And it has everything to do with my hat, right? This red hat, right? Everything to do with the red hat. Let's go on over here. Like, hold on. Inky, I thought you was cool with... Listen, I'm cool with God. I got to follow what God tell me to do. Okay. Can y'all see this? Okay, good. Y'all can see it. Like, hold up, Inky, you ain't even put the new version up yet. I know. I'm sorry. I've been working. Okay, here's where we're at. Here's where we're at. Now, let me give you guys a brief little review of how we got here to the aorta as the Holy Royal Arch. In fact, you're probably going to have to go back and watch the video, honestly, because there's a lot to it, right? There's a lot to it, right? But many people attempting to decode Masonic symbolism and get to the quote unquote heart of the matter, so to speak, they have attempted to tap in, and a lot of them have talked about this, like the brain being the royal arc, and that's incorrect. That is incorrect. You have to remember that Masonry is a repository for a lot of what we call today esoteric lore. And if you're not familiar with the esoteric doctrines, like if you haven't studied Madame Blavatsky, right? And many of you think that you studied Madame Blavatsky because you Wikipedia'd her name. No, Wikipedia her name is not you studying Madame Blavatsky, right? If you haven't read Isis Unveiled, both books, then you are pretty much unfamiliar with Madame Blavatsky, right? You need to have read those books cover to cover, both volumes, to be familiar with Madame Blavatsky. Now, even some of you people that read those books are not familiar with the brother, the black man who was her teacher from Harlem, right? A black man from Harlem was Madame Blavatsky's teacher. Anyway, point being, there's a lot of esoteric information floating around out there, and you kind of need to familiarize yourself with all of those different things before you really approach Masonic symbolism. Now, because all esoteric knowledge is based around the human body, even if you are very well versed in esoteric lore, but you are not well versed in the body, you're still going to be lost, right? Because everybody decodes every esoteric anything as the damn pineal gland, right? The pineal gland, right? And then once their information runs out on the pineal gland, which is usually bogus, right? Because what do most people tell you about the pineal gland? Oh, white people have a calcified pineal gland, right? And black people have no calcification in their pineal gland. Now, let me tell you how stupid that is. It's the calcium in the pineal gland that actually allows the pineal gland to function. Like literally, it's made out of calcium crystals. Those calcium crystals allows the pineal gland to turn sound into light and light back into sound. That's what the pineal gland does. That's why you have so many empty cavities in your skull. Those empty cavities are for sound resonance. It's for resonance, right? But because we know very little about how sound works with our biology, we have no idea what's going on with that. Even though all of you niggas are religious, and every one of your religions says that the gods created life with the utterance or the word and blah, blah, blah. So literally all of your religions say that all life was created with sound, but nobody invests any time studying sound. This is the thing of how we're brainwashed, right? Christians, Hebrew Israelites, all of them, everybody that studies the Bible, they study the Bible except for what the Bible says to study. Because clearly, if God did all the creating with sound, you probably should close the Bible and then go and figure out sound. Yeah, that's what it says. That's probably what you should do. The Quran echoes that, pun intended. The Quran echoes that, pun intended, right? Masons join up in masonry and they never do the actual studies of grammar, rhetoric, logic. They never do that. Only thing they memorize is that they have to study these 7 subjects. So they remember to say that they have to study these, but they're not actually studying the geometry, arithmetic. Like, they're not doing that. They're not studying astronomy. Most Masons will start talking to you about astrology and even chakras. What? What happened to the grammar, the rhetoric, the logic, the arithmetic, the geometry, the music? Hello, the music, the sound is a required subject for all Masons to study. Right after you get past the geometry, the next thing is sound. Why is it in that order? Right? Because you got to learn arithmetic to get geometry. Once you get shape and what shape does, how shape determines the movement of energy, vibration, the next logical step is sound, because that's what sound originates as, is vibration. Yeah. So you go from geometry to music. And once you understand how shape affects sound, now you're ready to understand why the Bible talks about the stars singing, right? Because the stars also make sound. And that sound reaches us just like the light from the stars reaches us. Where's that damn button?
Ooh, teach. It ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun, you heard?
Okay. So, this is not the Royal Ark, right? This is not the Royal Ark. Trepanation is one of those old school esoteric sciences that were put into the repository of Masonry. And trepanation is about drilling a hole in your head for spiritual purposes. Yeah. Drilling a hole in your head for esoteric purposes. And the whole thing is based on the whole Royal Arch degree is based on Kemetic science. Now, you don't have to take my word for that. You can simply go to Google and type in Chapter 64, Egyptian Book of the Dead, Royal Arch degree, and see what Masonic lodges all around the globe are teaching you about. See what they say. There are books out there on it. I guess it's not a thing that I'm making up. It's just the thing that I'm adding on to because I know the biochemistry of it. I've been teaching the anatomy from the Kemetic standpoint long before I became a Royal Arch degree Mason. So once I became a Royal, I was like, I was like, this is crazy. I can't believe this is oh my goodness. So, yeah. So there's that, right? There's that, right? And this right here is the keystone. And yes, the pineal gland is a stone. It is made out of calcite crystals. That calcium that I told you about, yeah, it is stone. It is the keystone. And when you remove it, it gives you a path through the third ventricle, right? The goat, the third ventricle down to the Holy of Holies, which is the heart, right? Where were you first prepared to be a Mason? Right? The aqueduct of Sylvius, the silver cord, that's literally what this is right here. Right? Right? When you remove that keystone, that gives you access to the goat, right? You get on down here through the third ventricle and keep on sliding on down, right? Because the pineal gland is not protected by the brain, the blood-brain barrier, right? So you got a straight shot right on down to the heart, which is where you find the royal arc, right? Now you say, where did the term royal arc come from? Because all of the pharaohs had to have a activated royal arc. This was the pathway to royalty. This was how you became royal. I'm trying to make y'all gods again. Hold on. Did y'all hear what I just said? I'm trying to make y'all gods again. See, Father Allah came with the information, but nobody did anything with the information. Yeah, they got the mathematics and the supreme lessons and all that from Father Allah and did nothing. They went on coke. They went on crack. They went on Newports. They got addicted to shit. They didn't activate that God. They didn't go through the steps. I'm trying to make y'all gods again. Yeah, I'm trying to make y'all gods again. Let me show y'all this thing here. Okay. This is it right here. This is it right here. This is the M.O.I scepter. This is the M.O.I scepter. So all of the pharaohs, in order to be considered gods, they had to know the secrets of the M.O.I scepter. Right? Nobody knew the secrets of the M.O.I scepter. Nobody, until I gave them back to you after God gave them to me. God gave them to me. I turned them right on over to you. I just asked that you hit the Cash App so I could continue doing this work. In fact, let me tell one of the babies to bring me this book off my ironing board. Go get me that big book off my ironing board without knocking anything down. Yeah. That's the M.O.I scepter right there. And that's why that is the Holy Royal Arch. The aortic arch is the Holy Royal Arch. Because this is the pathway to becoming a god. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. And you kept it open to the page I had it on. Okay. Now, I actually was not reading this to share this with you niggas today. I'm going to be honest. This was just my morning reading before I took my, went outside to screw in. Now, again, just because I don't tell y'all like every day what I'm doing, that doesn't mean you're not supposed to be doing it. Like, because when I post, hey, we doing our morning light every morning, you're supposed to be doing your morning light exercises. People do it. But as soon as I stop posting, in your mind, that means you think I stopped doing it because I'm not posting it. I don't post every goddamn thing. Once I teach y'all the information, I think that I'm teaching adults so that you guys can carry on by yourself. Now, where I was reading that this morning, before I went to go screw in case y'all don't know what that is, just barefoot in the ground outside. I still do that even when it's cold out. I'm reading this section in the book called The Birth of a God. The coffin text contained a number of spells dealing in more or less detail with the process of conception and birth in the context of the transformation of the deceased into the newborn divine child. Now, what you guys have to know is there is a dual symbolism of deceased in the Kemetic text. Kemetic talks about deceased as also a person, like as a person that has passed away, like died the way we know, but also the mentally dumb, the mentally dead, because the mentally dead is spiritually dead. See, that word mental is fraud. The whole mental health, whole industry is fraud. You have the body and you have the spirit. Now, these people done already built their science on trying to tell you that God doesn't exist and that real science is atheism. So they cannot come back and tell you that you have a spirit. So this is where the mental came from. But it's actually the spirit. And the spirit arises from and through the physical body. From and through the physical body. Yeah. So we'll go back. That's what made Horus different as a resurrector. Horus was here to resurrect the living. Horus, the god Horus, was here to resurrect the spiritually, which we would call mentally dead people, the living. Not wait till you die and then we got the hookup. No. See how black folks think? Black folks think the same way now as they did thousands of years ago. We're not interested in no later on shit. Like, what you got right now? Because I'm struggling like today. Like, yeah, shit's kind of tough like right now. Like, what you got for that? That's what we on, right? So anyway, the best known example is no doubt the frequently discussed coffin text 148 entitled Taking Shape as a Falcon. But other examples include coffin text 84, 334, 682, 989. None of these spells can be said to be exemplary in their clarity, but when examined together, certain shared phraseology becomes apparent, making it possible to reconstruct the sequence of events. Now, I'm going to fast forward. You don't need all that. Like, no, we want all that. Okay. Now they skip to pyramid text 669. The process of tying inside the egg and its role in relation to actual birth is further specified in two closely related passages, coffin text 682 and 989, which are unfortunately both fragmentary and apparently somewhat garbled during transmission. A precursor to these two spells, which retain a much clearer structure, is found in the pyramid text 669, which in its entirety reads, yeah, you should probably read it. No. May the herald of the great flame come forth from the inner horizon, having seen the preparation of the festival and the making of braziers at the birth of the gods on the 5th epigomenal days on your arms. You whose breast is great, right? We at the chest. Who is in front of the company. May you find this Naga, this God, here at the beginning of the document among those who have created their names. The Naga has been born by his mother, Utet, in a rebirth in Thoth's nest inside the tamarisk field. Those are fig trees, right? The fig tree. Where have I heard that? The fig tree. Anyway, the one that unites the gods, because Naga is the brother who has come forth as the wise one, who has parted the two brothers, who has split the two combatants, and who has split your heads, the gods. The water, which is in noon, was separated at the plaintive voice of the Naga. And we're going to stop right there. The splitting of the water at the sound of a voice. I told you, the Kemetic manuscripts were the first documents ever on structured water. Literally, all of their science it revolves around structuring of water. Where does that happen at? Where does that begin at most potently? Right there in the Holy Royal Arch.
Ooh, teach. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you heard?
Okay. Yeah. This is a good book. I might want to grab this if you can find it. If you can find it, this is one of my favorites right here. And yes, I got this with help from you guys, right? From Cash App. So definitely go ahead and hit the Cash App, right? So now, what does this have to do with LeBron and Chael Sonnen saying that LeBron does EPO? And what does that have to do with this book that Inky is giving away everybody for free? Like, bring this all together, Inky. Make this, bring it together. Okay. Let's go on back on over here. Where were we at? No, that's not where we were at. I had the video up on my computer still from the American Healer podcast. Okay, hold on. Okay, now let's see what we got here. Where y'all at? All right, so remember, NRF 2. Remember NRF 2, right? What does NRF 2 stand for? Nuclear factor erythroid 2. You see how they hide the erythroid part though? Nuclear fact, like NRF2. N, where is the R? And then F, and they just skip the erythroid and put the number 2 there. Like, where is the E in this NRF2 thingy? It's cool. Don't worry about it. See, that's how they hide stuff. You got to know what you're doing over here with this thing here. But let's go to, oh, you know what? Let me ask y'all this question. Let me see who really knows Dr. Inky. Let's see who really knows Dr. Inkyology. How many people that are watching right now, how many of you that are watching had the first Black genetics book? The first Black genetics book that I put out. How many of you had that book? only one person. That's crazy. Okay, so y'all missed out, right? But in that book, I talk about the creation of life in detail. And one of the parts that we talk about in the book is the creation of the blood. Very important in understanding how the body works, right? So anyway, let's go on over here. Gary is the only person in here that had that book. That's crazy. But that's what I do, though. The books don't stay in print forever because I am the printer and the publisher of the books. So after a while, I will stop selling the book, and then whoever got it is just a classic, and you know, it's just out there. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. You got to get them. Like right now, you need to get. Right now, you need to have this, and more importantly than just that, you need to have this Bible. You need to have the holistic Bible, right? You need to have this, right? Let's go over here. Now, we talk about this term. Here we go. Talk about this term. Erythropoietin. Erythropoietin. That's what EPO is. All right. Erythropoietin is a glycoprotein hormone naturally produced by the kidney. Hello. But not only just the kidney, though, your brain actually produces it. When you're a baby, your liver produces most of it. But as you get to be an adult, your kidney and your brain take over. Your kidney and your brain take over. This is what tells your body to produce more blood. So the reason why I had to remind y'all that it's in the first Black genetics book is because I wrote that book more than 10 years ago. I think I wrote that book close to, I want to say 2005. I wrote that book. I want to say 2005 I wrote that book. It's 2023 now. So think about this shit. Niggas ain't up on the shit that I was writing 18 years ago. Yo, they be like, yo, what about such and such? I'm like, yo, all these niggas is my sons, bro. You asking me about my sons. All these niggas is my sons. All these online niggas. That's why sometimes I gotta stray away from them when they get goofy and go away from the master's lessons. When you go away from the master's lessons and you start selling burnt, saturated fat, no, I gotta go this way. You gotta go that way. I gotta go this way because you're doing something else. That's not a part of it. I didn't bring you up like that. Who raised you? I didn't raise you to do that, right? This right here is what Chael Sonnen is saying that Lebron been using to cheat the game. Now, there's no reason that you need to use EPO if you know how your biochemistry works. Period. If you read this book and you follow what's in this book, you will be producing EPO like you're on the drug. Like you're on the drug. Why? Because the detox kit that you're supposed to be taking every month, it's a 21-day detox. You're supposed to take it every month. It's supposed to be like seasoning. Like you put the same seasoning on your food all the time. You're supposed to be seasoning your body with this. This is how you become a god. Literally, you got the formula to do it. You literally have the formula. All you got to do is go to the website, order the detox kit. Boop. Now, in the book, we tell you how to do the isometrics and the calisthenics. Which one specifically? Why? Because how you exercise is going to determine how your muscles interact with your blood, how your blood moves gas, right? And moving gas is what determines your body's pH more than your food. Let me say that so you can see me. Moving gases has a much larger impact on your pH, specifically the blood pH, than anything else. This is why we also talked about what? During the cardiology video, hypercapnia. Hypercapnia being a secret cause of diabetes. I'm like, what is hypercapnia? Are you talking about polite again? No, I'm not talking about polite again. Hypercapnia is oh shit. Hold on, man. My bad, y'all.
Ooh, teach. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you heard?
My bad. My bad. Listen, hypercapnia is what happens when your body starts to absorb less oxygen and exhale less carbon dioxide. So slowly but surely over time, your body starts to build up a residual residue of carbon dioxide. And that's the reason why people with metabolic illness, like they get tired really fast. Like they if they do an exercise, and that's the thing, even old folks, that's what's happening. Metabolic illness is basically you just aging really fast. So you technically could be like 30 or 40, but your body feel like a 70-year-old. So even if you don't have metabolic disease, but you're 70 years, you know, it's the same thing. So here's what's happening. Your body's not able to get rid of all the carbon dioxide. So when you go to exercise, like when you was 20, you go to do 20 push-ups, you can knock that out with no problem. But now you get down and do 20 push-ups. It's not that you feel that you can't lift your body. It's that you feel incredibly winded and weak. Yeah, that's because your muscles are 80% water. And your muscles, the water in your muscles communicate with the interstitial fluid. And the interstitial fluid communicates with the circulatory system. And keyword, the pigments inside the muscles, the myoglobin is more, I don't know, it has a stronger magnetism. We do it that way. A stronger magnetism. It's the piece with the magnetic. It has a stronger magnetism for oxygen than the pigment of your blood, the hemoglobin. Myoglobin, hemoglobin, two pigments. You're not going to learn about these because, again, pigments are taboo in the racist institution of science. So anyway, the pigment that makes your muscles go, right? They tell you everything else, but the pigment is in there making the muscles go, right? So think about that. If you had somebody out there with a scientific mind that was making you supplements for the pigments in your body, if the pigments are running everything, what if you guys funded some researcher to make supplements just based on all the pigments that science has been ignoring? Oh my God, that would be, wait, that would be Dr. Inky, you goofy motherfucker. What the fuck?
Ooh, teach. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you heard?
So what happens is the available oxygen is not there for the muscles to pull to power the muscles. So it's actually the carbon dioxide that you can't get rid of that's causing your body to break down. Now, when you do these exercises, like if you notice, the goal of all of our exercises is to be able to do how many? 60 reps in 60 seconds. Now, when I first was putting this out, he was like, Inky, why 60? And how come we got to try to do 60 in 60 seconds? Because you have 60,000 miles of blood vessels that your blood has to travel through every 60 seconds.
Ooh, teach. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you heard?
You have 60,000 miles of blood vessels that your blood must travel through in 60 seconds. That is the origin of our cornerstone. We have 4 cornerstones of our program. The 60 in 60 is literally one of the cornerstone pieces of our whole program. The 60 in 60. That is why, because it is based on activating that M.O.I scepter. Yeah, activating that M.O.I scepter. How you activate that M.O.I scepter is by keeping elevated EPO levels. By keeping elevated EPO levels. When you have elevated EPO levels, you're also going to have elevated antibodies. So what does that mean? You're also going to have an elevated immune system. Wait a minute. Oh, the NRF.
Ooh, teach. It ain't no fun.
Yeah. Hopefully this is all clicking now. So Chael Sonnen is accusing Lebron of the EPO because Chael Sonnen has never ever been focused on working out and training at that level. I'm sure LeBron, like every other athlete, has used steroids, but steroids only become performance enhancing when they're used outside of a clinical or hospital setting. Meaning, every single athlete, listen to what I'm telling you, every single athlete, when they get injured, they're using everything that their doctors have available to get them back healed up fast. That's a part of the athletes getting recovery, right? But there's a difference between using certain things in a hospital or in a clinical setting versus using it in the locker room, shooting it in your butt before a game. Yeah, that's not even how EPO works. That's not even how EPO works. Period. So it's not possible for LeBron to have reached this level that he's at on EPO. Any more possible than it is for you guys who have been ignoring your program, right? You already have the program. How to increase your EPO, how to activate the M.O.I scepter, the aorta, right? The aorta, right? And when you have an activated aorta, of course, that's how you get more oxygen to the brain. See, back in the days, going back to trepanation, they thought the only way to get more, because they figured out, they knew since ancient times that the more oxygen you get to the brain, the more functionality you get out of the brain. Not more sugar. You get more sugar into the brain, you get more Alzheimer's and more dementia. You get more oxygen to the brain, you get more electricity. So these goofy niggas. Yo, imagine this shit, because nowadays they got drill, you know, where they could drill through the skull, and which is still insane. But back in the days, they had to put, like, you know, like they had to take the the chisel with the hammer. And trepanation is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Even up to as recently as maybe like 100 years or so ago, people was putting holes in their head for spiritual development, right? So, no, this is what the different breathing patterns is for, right? We talked about square breathing, right? Where you inhale 4 seconds. You could do any amount of seconds, but the whole idea is the 4 components of the breath are all equal timed. So you inhale for 4 seconds, then you hold. 4 is the lowest number, right? 3 doesn't work as well. You inhale for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 4 seconds. Then you exhale for 4 seconds, and then you hold your lungs empty for 4 seconds, right? And then you start the square again, right? That's square breathing. We talked about the breathing patterns associated with the oblong square, right? The medulla oblongata, right? That's what controls your rhythmic breathing, right? And if you don't know how to control it purposefully, when you get hyper emotional, your nervous system will kick it in. And this is why when you get real emotional and you crying, you go, because when you start to take more inhales than exhales, you get control over the sensory system in your body, which is the, drum roll please, the pigment system, right? So you get control over your pigments' electrical output and input by controlling the breathing patterns in a fraction type sense, right? So 2 inhales for 1 exhale, or 4 inhales for 1 exhale, and so on and so forth, right? But in that space, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, like that, right? The same as the computers work, right? You got 2 bits, 4 bits, 8 bits, 64, right? 128, 256, 512. Yeah, where do you think they get that from? That's how you work, right? But now I don't know any human that's possible to do 512 breaths before they exhale. You know what I'm saying? So you probably going to tap out somewhere, you know, like if you get to 8, you like a champ. You know what I'm saying? If you get to 16, you on a monk level. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely well within your capability to be able to do 4 inhales for 1 exhale. 4 inhales for 1 exhale. You know what I'm saying? You've been doing it since a baby. You know, especially like if you get whooped or you get sent to your room and you be cussing your moms out. I hate you. Or you want to cry, but you ain't trying to let it out. Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah. Listen, we're getting ready to do private one-on-one tutor lessons on the Patreon. So people got to sign up. You know what I'm saying? I know the people over there be like, hey, where you at, though? We supposed to get out. Listen, I wanted to give people more than talk. So I'm building out the what's that thing? What do you call your class? Your you know, the course, the material, right? So we getting there. You know, that's almost coming to completion. So once I finish, and I told y'all somewhere around 2,000 pages, we at 1,700 right now. So we're not far away from completion. But from there, I got to reformat that whole thing into a one-on-one dialogue, right? Which is going to be a Q&A kind of format. And then I'm not sure if that will be free or I'm I'm sure that will not be free, right? You're getting the book already for free, right? But the coursework that's associated with it will be different. So the Patreons will get that. You know what I'm saying? The Patreons will get that. So that's going to be crazy. There you go. Hold on. I don't like the way that looks. I don't want my thing like that. Bam. Wait. You can see. Yeah, no. Yeah, there we go. There we go. The curriculum. That's the word I was looking for. Dennis is on point. Right? So I think we covered the title. I think we got down to the nitty-gritty. Let me see if there was anything else I wanted to talk about, because I kind of scribbled a bunch of stuff down. Ooh. No, y'all not ready for this, bro. This is too much. No, y'all not ready for this. I can't just give y'all this raw off the top like that. Let me see. I will say this. We could close out on this, and unless people got questions. I'll go through the chat, see if we got some questions on Saturday. The EPO, like everything else, is definitely controlled by your melanin hormones and your neurochemistry. Yeah, absolutely. And the neurochemistry is controlled by the heart, right? We got that, right? The neurochemistry is controlled by the heart, right? We got that part. So I will tell you that melanin concentrating hormone and melanin stimulating hormone absolutely regulate the behavior of EPO, right? So if LeBron just hit me up and drop that bag on me, you know what I'm saying? I can get LeBron together. In fact, I got an idea for a sneaker that I'm not sharing with anybody. Well, I'm not going to say with anybody, but somebody got to have that. I got to sit down with the person. I'm not even putting it in, I'm not even patenting it. I'm not writing it down. It's in here. It's not going anywhere until I sit down with somebody that has the means of actually getting the sneaker done. You know what I'm saying? But I got a sneaker that would literally transform the NBA. They would save billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. And I have no problem with sharing it with Nike or Adidas or Reeboks or whoever. But it would have to be one of them. Actually, it wouldn't have to be one of them. But I think that they the big companies are the only ones that really have what I would need to get it done. So, if there's a private company, small company, I would love to do it with a small Black company. That'd be amazing. But yeah, I'm not getting ready to share my idea and then we go hunting together to find some third party to invest in blah, 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 blah. No. This ain't that. This is literally a gold mine. This is a gold mine. This would change sneakers forever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm keeping that in there. I'm not even writing this shit down. I'm just telling folks about it so that, the internet could do its job. Like everybody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody else. Yeah, get on that. Because I know how to stop these injuries. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to say stop them, right? Because I'm sure that you just find a new way to injure yourself. But the injuries would be drastically reduced and the recovery time would be drastically reduced. Yeah. Nah, that was good shit this morning. You had everybody warmed up. That was good shit this morning. All right, so if y'all don't got no questions, we're gonna go right over here and get some business in. We're gonna get some business in, right? Juneteenth, everybody. M.O.I is going in. I'm sure y'all saw him this morning. It's going to be a small VIP exclusive event. Only a dozen tickets are available. And I don't think that dozen is still available because people have been buying up the tickets already. So if you don't hurry up and buy your ticket, you ain't going to get a ticket. It's just that simple. This is a small VIP situation where the family will be tucked away. The brother is going to be in his other bag. Okay, his other bag. He do history, he do religion, but he has a whole nother bag that he's going to tap into and feed you guys and teach you guys. It's going to be a very exclusive event. And it's going to be down there next to Disney. So some of y'all got babies. This is a perfect opportunity for you to make the excuse to go on down to Orlando and get your butt on down there to the resorts and Universal Studios, Disney, get it out the way. Get it out the way. Don't be too conscious to take your kids to amusement parks. You know what I'm saying? This is how your kids wind up selling crack or swinging on a stripper pole. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Allow them to enjoy the things that other kids are enjoying. Just give them the education on it. You know what I'm saying? Just give them the education on it. You know what I'm saying? But the way our world is set up, if you don't allow them to do it, they're going to find another means to do it. So get that out the way. You know what I'm saying? Going down there to Disney, get you a little food for the soul. Brother's going to be preparing food for the soul, right? And make sure you go to AmericanHealer.website, get that detox kit so you can have naturally good bowel movements. Naturally good bowel movements, right? Which is why water is such a strong. Actually, you know what? We can't leave just yet. We can't leave just yet because I need to talk about how the detox is done and why it works the way it works. So when you get the detox, it's two parts to it. You have capsules and then you have liquid drops. Now, the liquid drops are the only thing that I used when Amber was in the hospital. I didn't have a whole bunch of supplements and all that. This was the first time I even ever tried to make a herbal compound, was when my baby was in the hospital. And I made the liquid, the Mama Atomics in liquid. I called it Mama Atomics because we use all three types of minerals in the formula: ionic, colloidal, and monatomic, right? But I made it liquid because, again, she couldn't eat. So it was not possible for her to try to deal with no capsules. Plus, kids don't deal with no capsules or nothing anyway, right? So I had to make something liquid so I could go sublingual up under her tongue and get it straight to the where? To the bloodstream, right? So the whole time we've been focused on this. I don't think y'all understand. The Mama Atomics was literally focused around building more blood. That's how you build bone. You build bone from blood. And if the blood is lacking, the blood is going to make or break your bone. That's the secret also to understanding how the blood affects the rest of the body. The blood is going to make or break the bone, pun intended. Now, in the bone is where the marrow is, and that is where your antibodies are and the secrets to your virus and bacteria fighting immune system is, or sanitary system is anyway, right? But it's all dependent on the blood. So if you have good, healthy blood, your blood is going to continue to make your bone more and more dense. If you don't have good, healthy blood, then your blood is constantly going to be leaching, calcium, phosphorus, more so phosphorus than anything else, right? But it's got to pull everything out of there. So everything is going to come out of there, the calcium, the vitamin D, the phosphorus. And then if you constantly got the leaching of calcium from the bones into the tissues, now you're going to start getting hardening. And then, your blood pressure going to start going up and all that. So you're going to need the vitamin K and the magnesium to put the calcium back into the bone. You know what I'm saying? With the vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? But vitamin D kind of operates on its own whole. Yeah, vitamin D be on some other shit. But you're going to need that vitamin K to push that calcium back into the bones. That's what that do, right? But that was the whole thing. With her body full of broken bones, I needed to focus on the blood, strengthening the blood to build up the bone. So, and she couldn't eat. So I just had the liquid to go under her tongue, right? So the other piece is hydration. It's water that all this stuff is made out of. So the idea with the detox is you're going to go through 3 different periods. You're going to go through a period where you're doing 3 capsules with 3 cups of water. Each one of those cups of water, you're going to add the mama atomics to the liquid. You're going to go through that for a few days, right? 3 cups of water with 3 capsules every meal. Then we're going to step it down. 2 cups of water, 2 capsules every meal. Then 1 cup of water, 1 capsule with every meal, all the way on a step down period. Then you'll have another week and some change out of the month where you don't have nothing at all. You're just eating and doing your thing, right? Because we want your body to begin to acclimate itself, right? We want your body to begin to acclimate itself. So we're not getting your body hooked. We're coming in with the heavy firepower. 3 cups, 3 capsules each meal. Then 2, then 1, then the body's weaned off. Then you go another week or 2 like that with nothing, and then you start again. And you keep that cycle going, right? And we're putting you on a monthly cycle of that. Why? Because that monthly cycle of your blood corresponds to what? The monthly cycle of the sun. Why? Because the sun is magnetic and your blood is magnetic. You see how this thing works? Nothing that we're doing is made up out of thin air. Everything goes with this. This goes with that. Then I could take you into the science text of today and show you how it works. And then I could take you all the way back thousands of years ago and show you, oh yeah, no. Your ancestors was already on it. This is what they said to do. Boop, boop, boop. This was it right here. Then I could take you into the esoteric space and go, no. This is over here, right? For the Masons, right? Let's end it like this. Matter of fact, let's end it on a strong Masonic note, right? Wisdom, strength, and beauty, right? Wisdom, strength, and beauty is literally the outward signs of a perfected ashlar. Wisdom, strength, and beauty. Right? Now, how do you attain wisdom, strength, and beauty? It's a constant work. It's not some shit you just memorize to get to the next degree. Wisdom comes from not just constant study, but the application of the things you study in. So you can't just listen to me talk and then you don't go get the herbs. Right? You don't hit the Cash App, so you don't fund the research. You don't join the Patreon, so you don't fund the research. You don't get the books, even the free books. Nigga, the free books. You don't even go to the website and get the free books to read. Or you get the books and then you don't read them. Then you don't do the exercise. You're not waking up during the morning light. Guess how long the morning exercise routine is? The morning light routine is, come on now, 60 seconds. Literally 60 seconds. What is that morning light routine going to do? That's going to help awaken all the blood. And it's going to do what? Help to start the EPO for the day. Wait a minute, doc. You saying that the morning light exercise activates the Y septor, the aorta, the EPO in the blood? Yes. And that works counter to sugar. So unless we getting rid of the glycogen stores in the liver and all the sugar that's floating around, if we're not getting rid of that sugar properly overnight and then waking up during the morning light, right? So how do we get rid of all the sugar overnight? Remember the 13 and 7 rule. That's another part of our program, right? 13 and 7. 13 and 7 for you people that don't know is we eat 7 hours out the day. Doesn't matter whether you eat meat, cotton candy, or whatever. Just do it in the 7-hour window. And the other time, you're starving. No, you're not eating, right? So you're allowing your body a 13-hour window to get rid of not just the sugar that's in the blood, but the sugar that's left over in the cells, and more importantly, cleaning out that glycogen from the liver. Right? You got to get rid of all that glycogen, and in the liver, you got to clean that liver. Clean liver, the liver will clean everything else because the liver metabolizes the oil and fats in your body. So you keep the liver clean, the liver is like one of them robot vacuum cleaners. You know, the robot vacuum shit. Long as you keep it running, charged up and all that, it's going to clean up the whole house for you. You ain't even got to worry about it. It's going to bump into the walls and it's going to do its thing. Or like a pool thing. You know what I'm saying? I got a pool vacuum thingy where you just plug it in, drop it in the pool, and it clean up the whole bottom of the pool. That's kind of how the liver goes, even though it doesn't move around. But the liver will clean everything up. Whatever the liver missed, the spleen will get, it'll get, yeah. Right? So that's a part of that 13 and 7, right? That's 2 out of the 4 pillars, right? But that's anyway. So wisdom, you got to constantly study and constantly apply the things that you study. And when you fall short, you don't worry about it because guess what? The falling short is where the wisdom comes from. So you got to get the information, the knowledge, right? Apply the knowledge, demonstrating that you have understanding. And then as you make your mistakes, so you fall off or whatever, that's where you're going to build your wisdom at. That's how that works. Right? So that's where the wisdom comes from. That's a constant work of developing the mind and discipline. The strength comes from constantly disciplining the body, exercising. It don't matter what kind of herbs or medicine you taking. If you're not exercising your body, you will never be healthy. Your lymphatic system is the sanitary system of the body. That doesn't have a heart. It doesn't have a lung to pump it. It works strictly off the peristaltic wave, just like your colon. The peristaltic wave is more binary coding, 1s and 0s, right? Because when this muscle go like that, this muscle close, and then that one open, this one close, like that, like a wave. In fact, it's just like when you at the stadium and everybody do a wave. If everybody got up at the same time, it's not a wave. Everybody got to get up and sit down in order. That's kind of how your muscles activate for a peristaltic wave to happen. So if your peristaltic wave stops, that's how people start getting indigestion, because from the time you eat your food, the peristaltic wave carry it all the way through out to the anus. And everywhere else kind of works like that too in your body, all the tubes, right? But so you got to exercise the body, strength, beauty. Beauty comes from the dietary and the lifestyle discipline. The dietary, the lifestyle discipline, and that word discipline is based on your morals. So your morals is literally what's going to give you the dietary and the lifestyle discipline to make and keep you beautiful or handsome, right? Wisdom, strength, and beauty. That's how you go from that rough, ugly looking ashlar to the perfected one, right? Yeah. Study, discipline, and workship, right? right? That's how you appreciate your ancestors, your fathers, your mothers, all the way back into antiquity. You appreciate them by appreciating your real birthright, right? What's the one thing that you know your ancestors left you? See, in the Black community, we taught that our ancestors didn't leave us nothing. Our ancestors ain't leave us shit. Yeah, we got to start off with nothing every generation. When we do that, we already demonstrate how brainwashed we are. That's why we the ones leading in metabolic illness, because we don't realize the one thing our ancestors left us for sure is this body we in. This body we in. We don't realize that we have the least amount of genetic illnesses than any other group of people on this planet. And that other groups of people on this planet is trying to buy your stem cells, buy your genes to correct their genetic malfunctions and shit. Shit going wrong with their body. Science can't fix it, not even with $1 trillion. The only way they could figure out to fix it is to mix with you. Voluntarily, sex, you know what I'm saying? You get with them folks and make some babies, right? Or you sell them your genes, or they just steal it from you because you're dumb. You go to the doctor, you have a baby, you let them keep the placenta. Henrietta Lacks shit. Yeah. So you've been bred to think that the most valuable fucking thing that you're in possession of has no value. And once it has no value, oh, it's easy for us to put a Pepsi in it, the Newports in it, the 50-cent beers. Yeah. And I know, because I done put all that shit in my body. The 50-cent beer, the Newports. I used to smoke cigarettes like a madman when I was in high school. Yeah. But you learn better, you do better. Yeah. I come from the jungle, the worst place you could imagine. So most of the things I teach, I know from actual experience. Yeah. Yeah. Who else is writing books and then giving them away for free? I'll wait. Which one of these other niggas online that y'all going to look at their page for health information? Like, are they giving away the books? Where's the philanthropy? See, we don't just talk that shit. You can see it. That's the charity. That's the philanthropy, when we write books and give them away. That's really your birthright, real time.
Ooh, teach. It ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun, you heard?